Hey everybody, it's Instructor Tyler here. We're going to take you on another science lesson. Um, Today we're going to be talking about rockets. I thought that I would bring this to y'all's attention because I think space travel is something that's very important. Um, Very important. We've got the Space Force going on, and we've also got, you know, issues with potentially overpopulation coming into the next 10 years. So we want to try to become a more multi-planetary species. This is something that I've been looking into, as well as a couple of other things. So today we're going to talk about the basics of rocketry. What I've got here is an Estes model kit, and what we're going to be doing is replicating a bullpup 12D rocket. This is your nose cone, your fuselage, a few of your basic things, and you may be wondering what we've got here. This is some potassium nitrate. Typically, you can get your own engines. There's engines that go from A to D. They're rated for different stuff, but we're going to try to show you how to make your own engine out of dry chemical in this video. Like I said, I try to run these science labs for an hour. So what we'll do is we're going to go ahead and start. You can get a kit like this. If I can get my Amazon working, I'll provide links. You can get a kit that will give you all of the pieces. Here is your parachute. You're going to need your parachute. Your rocket motor stabilizers, your laser cut wood, balsa wood. Don't forget to pick you up 3.5 grams of, this is RDX high explosive. Just kidding with you, silly putty. But always keep your RDX handy. You never know when you're going to need it to get you out of a jam. Another one of these rings here. And of course, this mount, rocket mount to put on your launch pad. And this. Now, tools for the trade, you're going to need an X-Acto blade or an art knife. I have one right here. You can pick them up at Hobby Lobby or Harbor Freight Tools. Problem with this one is somehow it's gotten stuck. I don't know how it got stuck on here, but we're going to deal with that later. The key thing is getting skin in the game. Don't forget to check out the leadership videos. Anybody that talks about business and entrepreneurship is going to talk to you about skin in the game. A lot of people say they can't do this type of stuff, and that's a bunch of boo-hef. You just got to start steadying and get you some Loctite brand epoxy. This may or may not be the stuff that you want to use. Like I said, we are experiencing, I am probably just as new as you in this stuff. I used to be into rockets when I was a kid. But now I'm getting back into rockets as an adult. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to take that out there. And instead of using that art knife, we're going to use just a simple box cutting blade right here. And you want to be very careful. These are your front fins. If you're a youngin', definitely you're going to want to have an adult present. And just kind of get these balsa wood fins in here. If you're not careful, you can easily damage them. So I don't know if you can see the chat room. Type in the comments below, why is studying rocketry important? I mean, aside from being really fun, a lot of people think rockets are just for warmongers. You know, rockets are generally used for blowing things up, but alrighty. So we've got our front fins. Now let's work on getting these out. Alrighty, so this is going to be, one of these is going to be our interior rocket tube. What we're going to do is take our little deal here, begin to put this on. This is going to be the enclosure that keeps our rocket. So what we're going to do is, this is epoxy resin. Make sure that we don't mess this up. Believe it or not, even something small like this, you're probably going to want to read your instructions. Snap by pushing to the side. Do not twist. Look at that little weird thing. Little spiral type feature there. So we're going to go push this down in here. We're going to turn it, I guess, to the right. Now we've got this sort of syringe. So this will take about 20 minutes to seal. Put a little bit of the product, apply a little bit of the product. Alrighty. So we've got some of that on here. Try to seal up these little cracks with this epoxy resin. Y'all enjoy science lab? I decided, like I said, go pick up my book. It was one of those things where I always say, if you can't get a job, do your own work. And thankfully, with Google, if you can't afford school, teach yourself. You can get education from a variety of sources. Okay. Okay, look at that. We're actually building this rocket motor. Pretty awesome stuff, eh? Now we're going to have to do something with this ring here. We're going to want to put this, leave a 1/4 inch of this out. So get your tape measure. Slide rule. And what we're going to do is we don't have a pencil right here right now. But we do. Roughly 1/4 inch. The fumes are a bit stinky. You probably want to watch out. Here you see we put our mark. This is the hard cardboard ring. This one goes in here. See that? And this goes in. Okay, so check that out. That's going to be part of what I guess we'll put our. We're going to have to mix a few things. That may be for another episode. I got to research that. We're already about a quarter of the way through the lecture. Okay. What do we got next? This is showing this. I think what happens is part of this has got to come off. Okay, I think I see what we're getting at here. This part's got to go. Yeah, don't let the child inside of you die. Some things will happen in life that may get you jaded, and they may get you questioning whether or not you're smart enough or beautiful enough to do things. You want to just kind of tune those negative influences out. And I know it can be hard if you're, especially like me, and you're in a broken home, you can't escape. Because when you're that age, you can't really see the forest from the trees. You just got to hold fast to your dreams and never give up. Righty, yeah, this is pretty rigorous. You're really going to want your X-Acto blade here. I don't have, like I said, I don't have a lot of stuff, and I like it that way. It's minimalist. If I had a big $1 million lab, it would be cool, but I know a lot of you at home watching this may not have that. So the key is just kind of getting, do a little bit and pray on it. And maybe one day, the more you study it, they say, you know, when the student is ready, the master reveals himself or herself or itself. So, finally making some progress on this. All right. Safety first in all things. Safety is never important until it's too late. You see the way I'm doing this? I'm one mistake away from a bad cut. You're going to get cuts. You're going to get nicks. And that's in anything you do. Like, you can't let that scare you. You know, we had a good guy, Hayden Williams, you know, a Trump supporter. He got hit, and he took a hit for his country. And, you know, they're cracking down on that. And that's a good thing. They want students to have freedom of speech and be safe in their schools. And I think that if you're not feeling safe at your school and you're feeling depressed and you're feeling down, I mean, a lot of times it can steal that dream from you, and it can make it hard to work, and that's bad for economies. It's bad for kids. So we all got to kind of, you know, it's okay to take it's, you know, don't be afraid to take licks. You're going to take licks. I heard it said somewhere that the kid who goes to school trying to avoid trouble always gets into trouble. So, you know, it's scary. Trouble's there. Anytime you go out in the public, I mean, it's a mad world. It's a dangerous, dangerous world. But try to think about the soldiers in like Iwo Jima, you know, I mean, running up there on the shore. They know chances are they're not going to make it back. And it's kind of like that with me chasing storms. I wasn't able to chase yesterday. I don't have a car right now. And unfortunately, we've lost, last I heard, 22. Very bad storms yesterday. Okay. So we can take these. We don't need these right now. Here's our fins. Let's group our fins up. You don't want to get them glued together. Make sure you get the glue on you. And you may want to sand them down, buff them. If you really want to sand them down, buff them, make them look nice. I'm going to take this. Now, see, this is still a little bit moist. We may have to let this dry, fellas. Yeah, see, that's resisting that. That's not good. Yeah, I think we're going to need to wait. They call for about 20 minutes. If you rush this process, the rocket could fall apart in midair. So I think what we're going to do is, since we're almost to the 30-minute mark, apply just a little more of that resin. We're going to let that cool. If any of y'all have any questions, now's the time to ask. We've got about 2 minutes left. And then I'm going to get to work on something else, and I will see y'all maybe in an hour or two if I get going. Don't forget to get your Rode and Schwartz radar guide. This thing is chock full of equations. If you're into radars like me, a lot of that shit's high end. You know, you're not a lot of people aren't going to be able to afford these oscilloscopes and electronic equipment like vacuum tubes and chambers. People that are experimenting with quantum computing, things of that nature. I don't know what floats your boat, but whatever floats your boat, it's nice to get in on some of that science shit. Also, young people, before I go, I want to remind you about the importance of military careers, military careers, military careers. They're taking ladies. I saw a young lady the other day. She was very proud. You can see the look in her face. She joined the Marine Corps. And she was with her friends from school, and they were going into the Corps. So, all right, y'all. See y'all in a few.